Hi, this is Arne Pedersen from Awareness and Health, and this is the series of anxiety. Really looking into what anxiety is, what causes it, and how it affects our lives, how it affects people in different ways, and things that we can do to move through anxiety and to heal it. And today I want to talk about where does anxiety really come from? And I'm going to go into that maybe many different times, but today I want to talk about some things in that area about when we hide what we really feel, when we reject our emotional experience, when we're feeling something and we're pushing away our emotions, and when we shape ourselves to fit in other people's expectations, to fit in with how we think other people want us to be, when we're people pleasing, when we're fearful that we won't be accepted as we are. And when we do these things, we end up pushing the energy of life down, and it gets pushed underneath, and we end up creating what we call anxiety. So there's this sort of emotional river. If we think of a river and we think that the water's coming down the river and it's coming down the river, and the stream of the river is flowing fairly gentle, and it's got its course that it goes down, and there's some rocks and stuff in the river, but the water just gently flows around it. But when the rains come, if we think of this sort of like an emotional experience, something happens in life and whoa, that was a lot. That's like the rain and the river starts to raise up and a lot of water goes down the river. And so these rocks in the river, it starts creating a lot of turbulence and eddies behind the rocks. And then it rains more. And this is kind of like a whole bunch of stuff snowballing in life, and things piling on top of one after another, where a lot of stuff's going on and things are feeling stressful, hard to manage, because there's so much water coming down the river, so much emotion. There's not enough room in the area that the riverbed takes up, so the water raises up and it goes over the bank and it washes stuff out, and it takes out the bank, and it goes around obstacles, and there's a lot of water moving. Well, that's what happens with our emotions. It gets to be too much, and if we're not able to be with what we feel, the emotions get shoved under the surface, and they keep building up and they keep building up. And like that river, you can't stop the river. It's not possible to stop it. It's like the river of consciousness of life. You can't stop life from happening. And so this river of life is happening. There's all this everyday emotion. And so when we're pushing it aside, when we're actually rejecting who we are, what we feel, what we think, we're actually not letting the natural flow of life happen. When we're not being patient and we're having trouble being with what we feel, or when we're trying to people please, what we really feel in the moment is discounted. It's pushed aside. And it gets pushed under the surface and pushed under the surface because we're not actually feeling what's going on in the moment. And it starts to become this raging river inside of us, that there's all this repressed emotion. And so when then all of a sudden things build up and we get this state of anxiety, it's this part of us is trying to come through, and no matter what, like the river, you can't stop the river. You can dam it up, but eventually the water level gets higher and higher and higher, and it will eventually find a way around. And when it rains really heavily, the water is going to raise up quickly, and it's going to find a way out. It'll blow the dam, it'll go around and make a new channel. That's what happens with our emotions, that it eventually builds up and it comes up in other ways. It comes up in our body. Actually, it can create ill health because our bodies now, it's been giving us symptoms that we're not being who we are authentically. We're not expressing what we feel. There's this buildup of emotion within us. And where does it go? It builds up in cellular memory, and areas of our body build up with this energy. And we don't feel good because we're not really fully expressing what we feel. And so any time in life that you're actually being a people pleaser, you're actually not you're not expressing your true self. You're in life, daydreaming in life. You're not really present with what you feel. You're not being authentic to yourself. You're people pleasing. you're actually building that emotion up. You're pushing it down and pushing it up, that stream of life that wants to come through naturally. And if we can live life naturally in the moment, we burn up the emotion that happens through our life experience of it in the moment. And so that's where we want to get to experience life and our emotion as it happens, and then it doesn't get pushed down beneath the surface. Because what goes down, it must come back up. It's like taking something that floats and put it under the surface. Sooner or later, it's going to pop back up. And there's an example I remember hearing, I forget who it was from, push a ping pong ball below the surface. Well, it takes a bit of energy. You can do that. It's not that hard. Take another ping pong ball. How many ping pong balls can you put under the surface, ones that float, before you just, all of a sudden, you can't handle it and all of them come crashing up above the surface? That's basically a panic attack, an anxiety attack. So if you find yourself feeling anxiety and you're wanting to move through it, the best thing you can do is start being with what you feel. Start being honest. Am I being authentic with who I am? Am I people pleasing? Am I not speaking my truth? Where am I compromising who I am, my boundaries, and giving them away to other people? And make a list of all of this. Do I adjust myself in ways, around my fears? Do I arrange my life around fears and not really live the life I want because I feel fear? So make a list of all these areas in life where you're not being true to yourself in the moment, where you're actually compromising who you are. These are all leading to what causes anxiety. And it's just the unexpressed emotions that we push down that are just coming up, and they're expressing themselves and wanting to come up, and they come through this unhealthy experience of anxiety, of just too much emotional experience that we don't know how to deal with, and it's overwhelming. So if you want to get a handle on that and not feel overwhelmed, start an awareness practice. Start breathing, connecting to your breathing, connecting to your body feelings. Practice stopping, feeling your feet on the ground. Take some slow breathers, sit on a park bench, meditate in the morning. Come back to your breathing, focus on what's here in the here and now, in this moment. Practice focusing on what you feel in your body. And when you do that, you're practicing accepting yourself in the moment, self-acceptance of your emotional feelings. When you do that, you'll start to actually process through emotions, and you won't be pushing them under the surface anymore. And if you practice meditating at the same time every day, say 7 a.m. or 8 a.m., you get up and you sit for 10, 15 minutes every day at that same time, you're not going to feel exactly the same from one day to the other. You're going to feel different. So if you sit every day and you practice being with what you feel, being authentic in this moment, just navigating the experience of your emotions, allowing them to be there, being true in the moment to yourself, just feeling, allowing yourself to be you. Through every day of a month, you will have experienced a whole wide variety of emotions from one end to the other. Sometimes it'll be really easy to sit. Other times you'll feel stressed, or other times you'll feel you're in a hurry. Other times you'll just feel really, really blissful and amazing. So you'll start to then get to know and accept and allow your emotions. And when you sit at that time, whatever time it is, and you look around and say, okay, it's safe, and you do it consciously, in 3 weeks or so, you're starting to build a habit of being with what you feel, of sitting and connecting to your breathing, connecting to your feet on the ground, connecting to the feeling sensations in your body. You start to make friends with all the different range of emotions that you feel every day through that whole month of doing it. And then you start to make friends with your emotions. Now you're not arranging your life around your emotions so much. So when you start to feel emotions and you start to feel an emotional challenge, you're able to be with it more. And if you watch the next videos, we're going to go into this more and more. I want you to go deep into this and understand, what anxiety is. It's not a death sentence. It's not something that we can't get rid of. We're just stuck with it. It's really a way to describe the byproduct of not being present in the moment, of shoving down emotions and repressing them, not experiencing them. And then they come up and overwhelm us, and we don't know how to deal with those feelings. And it's a result of many things. So look at, where am I people pleasing? Where am I arranging myself around my fears? Where am I ignoring my emotional feelings and my needs and putting myself aside for other people and other circumstances? Am I pushing past pain and body discomfort at work to please the person I work for? And that eventually leads to my body breaking down, and people that retire, that their bodies are completely gone. There's no retirement to have anymore because their body's worn out, because they've given their body away. They've never listened to it. So really write down a list and get clear. Where am I giving myself away? Where am I giving my energies away? Where am I not feeling my emotions? Where am I pushing them down? Where am I saying no when I should be saying yes? Where am I saying yes when really I feel no? Where am I not speaking my voice? Where am I not taking care of myself? So contemplate this, let it sink in, and make this list. I think you'll really start to get to know yourself a lot better from doing so. My name is Arne Pedersen from Awareness and Health, and I'm a hypnotherapist, clinical counseling hypnotherapist in Victoria, BC, and I help people to move through anxiety with an online program and through private sessions, through Zoom video. And these videos are meant to help people that aren't ready to come see me, or maybe can't afford to see me, or don't have the time right now. But I'm really excited that you're able to watch these videos and that they're helping you. And so I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And I wish you an absolutely wonderful rest of your day, and good luck on your list. Really give it a go and learn about yourself. Learn about how anxiety affects your life. Learn about what anxiety is to you, how it shapes your decisions. And we'll see you in the next video.